Et bonjour à tous, c'est Yet et on se retrouve pour un 17ème épisode de Lightning Returns Final Fantasy XIII sur PlayStation 3. Et nous avons fini le jour 3 dans l'épisode précédent en étant allé à Yusnan. Bref, on a appris quelques quêtes et tout. Pourquoi j'ai dit bref? Et bref, donc voilà, on a pas mal de petites choses en plus, on va commencer une nouvelle histoire. Mais avant ça, je crois que j'ai vu quelque chose là-dedans. Non, j'ai cru. Bon. Non, mais j'ai rien dit. Alors, juste revoir un peu nos styles. Alors, on va voir si Siegfried a pas quelque chose de bien mieux. Alors, attendez, on va regarder. Alors, avec Siegfried, je cherche à avoir la meilleure. Ok, donc là, ça a l'air d'être pas mal, la meilleure attaque. Je regarde s'il y en a d'autres. Il y en a une qui est équivalente. Ah, c'est Siegfried. Donc, j'en ai vu un. Ça. Ça peut être bien sympa. Ok, donc là, rien qui augmente. Non, bon bah, bref. Ça, c'est pas mal. Là, rien qui augmente le... Non, bon. Ok, donc on a appris une nouvelle... Comment on appelle ça? Par contre, là, j'ai plus de... J'ai fauchage, ouais, mais j'ai plus d'attaque de base. Non. C'est un peu nul, ça. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on pourrait mettre? Attaque légère? Mettons ça, allez. Ok. Alors, ici, du coup, Providence, est-ce que on n'a pas quelque chose de mieux, du coup? Non, je vois rien de vraiment mieux. Et vigile de... Ah non, ça c'est ce qu'on a déjà. Ignition, qu'est-ce qu'on a d'autre? Ah, c'est la magie, hein, donc si ça peut booster la magie, je prends. Bon, là c'est les... Non, rien. Bref, ça c'est bien. Providence, effigie de velours. Non, c'est pas mal pour l'instant. On va se contenter de ça, ce sera bien. Enfin, on a assez perdu de temps, on va pouvoir retourner à Yusnan. Garde Yusnan, voilà. Hop, et c'est parti. Allez, téléportation. J'espère que vous allez tous bien, hein, que vous êtes en forme. C'est le principal. Moi, je prends toujours du plaisir à faire ces épisodes. Bon, je peux pas, je tiens pas trop, enfin, compte. Je peux pas trop tenir compte de vos remarques. Enfin, si je peux, mais alors il va y avoir un décalage pas possible parce que bon, bah, à l'heure où je fais cet épisode-là, cet épisode 17, je viens de poster l'épisode 8. Vous voyez, j'ai vraiment beaucoup d'avance parce que je ne veux vraiment pas avoir de problème de retard vu le temps que ça me prend d'uploader, de rendre les épisodes. Je préfère être sûr de moi. Alors, ah, tiens, une nouvelle fille, qu'est-ce qu'elle veut? Ok. Ça va être bien plus accueillant de jour. Hop, voilà. Je me rappelle plus si on avait des quêtes, je crois que oui. Hein. Alors je crois que c'est que ça. Ils sont sensibles au feu. Ouais, ils sont très sensibles au feu. Ok. Gelée transparente. Alors il me semblait qu'on avait... D'ailleurs on va utiliser une chronostase immédiatement. Allez hop, on court. Alors Chocolina. Un cocktail explosif. Voilà, donc ça je peux le rendre. Du coup, il fallait des gelées transparentes, donc on vient d'avoir. Ok. C'est tout, j'ai rien d'autre. Je regarde s'il n'y a pas des nouvelles quêtes qui sont débloquées. Non. Rien du tout. Alors. Ok. Laisse-moi tranquille. Est-ce que j'avais pris des quêtes? Voyons voir ce qu'il y a par là. Un champ de viande. Pouf, pouf, pouf. Ah, il y a une quête là. Je l'avais pas pris celle-là.
Anything you want. How about the chef's special made from top quality recycled materials? Deep fried niblet hairballs.
Are you sure that's actually edible?
Oh yes, it definitely won't kill you, I can guarantee it. And since you're my first customer in days, no charge.
Bah oui, on va le manger, hein, ça a l'air.
That's the
C'est
spirit.
jamais,
Take
c'est
the
peut-être bon.
plunge, I say. Well, does it make your taste buds sing? Are you transported to culinary heaven?
This is...
Too tart? Too much salt, perhaps? I can brush it off if you like.
No, it's actually really good.
Voilà, c'était très bon.
That is a relief. I mean, of course it's good. I knew you'd love it. I've been working on the recipe for weeks. Unfortunately, it's not very nutritious. People are more health conscious these days, which is ironic considering the times.
Nutritious or not, you'd think that more people would come back for this.
I think it must be me. I just don't have a head for business. No matter how hard I work, I just can't seem to attract more customers. I've been living on the brink of financial ruin for years now. My son got sick of it, so he left.
You've got the chops to be a good cook, though. Why don't you try to find yourself a partner? You know, someone you trust who has a better head for business.
Now that you mention it, I hear there's a famous food expert here in Yusnan. Apparently he specializes in turning around lost causes like mine. I'll bet... No, I know he can help me, but how do I find him? All I know is his name.
And what is it?
Gordon Gourmet. Despite his fame, he's
Gordon
hard
du
to track
Gourmet.
down. If you do happen to run into him, could you tell him about CDs?
Ok, donc tout ça pour faire une quête, il faut que je trouve un mec. Simplement.
Gordon Gourmet. I'll remember it.
You are far too kind. Thank you so much. I hope you find him soon.
D'accord. J'espère que vous le trouverez vite. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'on a? Ah, par contre, j'ai pas été là-haut. Ça se trouve, on a guide aimable. Guide aimable, ok. Là-haut. J'ai été là-haut pour aller chercher le coffre, mais j'ai pas été plus haut. Ça se trouve, il y a des trucs intéressants. Alors, qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Maître d'hôtel. Ouais, bah, bonjour, bien. Non.
It is, thank you. Word of our shop's special flavor has quickly spread through word of mouth. This city is known for its gourmet restaurants, but none can hold a candle to the chefs we have assembled in our kitchens.
Best chefs in the city, huh? Lackley mentioned his missing fiancé was a great cook. I wonder.
Ma'am, is there something I can help you with?
Montrer l'anneau de la
I
clé.
hope so. I'm looking for someone by the name of Filiana. According to her fiancé, she was a fantastic cook. Does this ring look familiar to you at all?
Oh, yes, yes, of course. I recognize that. The woman was a wonderful cook indeed. Though the strange thing is, I never knew her by the name of Filiana.
She may have assumed another name. Was the woman
Okay.
you knew beautiful enough to turn the head of every man in the room?
Now, this is taking quite an odd turn. She was no doubt a very handsome woman, but very advanced in age. I suppose she must have been beautiful enough to turn heads once, but she was undeniably an old woman. Of course, we are all old now, that we don't age, but she must have been quite elderly already when time stopped for all of us.
An old woman? I suppose that can't be Lackley's lost fiancé, but where is she now?
I'm afraid I don't know. The lady in question fell ill and left our restaurant. I believe she moved to Luxurian to live with the support of an old friend there.
Do you know how to reach her? Or that friend of hers?
Unfortunately, I don't know that woman's name or anything else about her. I saw her only once. She was a young woman, and if I recall correctly, wearing a rather unusual hat. Perhaps she was her daughter.
I see. Thanks for your time. You've been a great help. Lackley's ring ended up on the finger of a beautiful but old woman somehow. It's possible Filiana
Bon.
sold her. I'm not looking forward to telling Lackley about it, but he deserves the truth. He needs to know.
Ok. Alors, toi. Je peux pas te parler, bon, c'est pas grave.
Tell
Toi.
me, are you the famous food expert?
Possibly. I do boast a certain renown in culinary circles. It cannot be denied.
Ah, c'est lui, Gordon du Gourmet.
I see.
Hein?
CD's restaurant, you say? I do hate to see a good restaurant go undiscovered by the dining public.
So, will you help him out? I can take you right there.
Oh no. CD's restaurant? I'm afraid you will have to find someone else. I'm sorry.
I can't persuade you?
Impossible. This city is overflowing with restaurants crying out for the deft helping hand of Gordon Gourmet. I'm run ragged trying to keep up. And, well, you see... Right, my rule. I have an ironclad policy. I cannot help an establishment unless the owner approaches me directly.
You just made that up, didn't you? All right, can you do this for me? Just give me some advice now and I'll pass it along to the owner. You don't have to come to the restaurant at all.
That sounds reasonable. I mean, I'd hate to see a restaurant serving fried niblet hairballs go under. Except if I
Quel prétentieux, quoi.
need to make sure that it is communicated accurately, with total precision. And that means my messenger has to understand the instructions perfectly.
Well, I guess that rules me out. I don't know the first thing about fine dining.
Oh, you don't have to be a top chef, or even a garde-manger. All you need is a discerning palate. Practically anyone can acquire one with a little training.
I'm not sure what you mean by a discerning palate, but I don't think I have one.
Trust me when I say it can be found. In fact, a tour of the best establishments of the glutton's quarters should do.
Faites le tour des 6 meilleurs établissements du quartier des Gloutons. Pour y tester leurs plats et rapporter à Gordon du Gourmet ce que vous avez tiré de cette expérience. Quartier des Gloutons, c'est où? Ah bah c'est ici. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Ah ça va être tous les petits carrés là. Ah bah ici. Non bah lui compte pas évidemment. Waouh. Normal. Lui. Alors j'ai chaud de dessert. Hop.
Our customers come here to put down their shopping bags and rest their weary feet. Our cakes and sweets are the perfect pick-me-up for just about everyone. We put a lot of love into our cakes, and that's what makes them so good. They're like treats for your palate and soul.
D'accord, établissement du quartier. Ok, donc c'est bien ça. Oh bon, on va faire ça, hein. C'est juste à côté. Je sais pas si par contre j'avais pris tous les coffres ici. Je vais regarder. Ah, il y en avait un là. Pris. Le temps remet. Alors là, ici, il fallait la trompette. Ensuite, ici. Barman. Ah, bon. Voilà, on va prendre ça. Je suis en train de dépenser mes sous.
Cocktails can be served, chilled or warm, shaken or stirred. Everyone has their own preferences. We encourage customers to consult with our staff to create the perfect cocktail to accompany their evening.
Ok, donc ça fait 2. Alors nous sommes en train de testeurs de repas. Alors, il est frais en poisson et délicieux. Oui, allez vas-y. Moi je prends le moins cher. Hein. C'est bon, hein. On va pas défoncer tout notre fric là-dedans.
A chef is even more important when preparing uncooked dishes. The way you slice a tuna makes all the difference in the world.
Ok, donc 3 sur 6. Marchand de viande. Oui. B burger. C'est un burger de Behemoth.
Grilling and roasting are the best. The key is knowing how to seal in the juices and flavors. And we do that better than anyone else.
Ouais. Ah, il plus que 2. Alors la marchande de légumes. Avec la tête de la citrouille sur la... C'est une velouté de pois.
Even kids who hate greens love my veggie dishes. Vitamins in vegetables are determined by their color. You want a wide variety for a well-balanced diet.
Et enfin, bah non mais lui il va pas pouvoir me... Qu'est-ce qu'il faudrait là? Ma carte? Ah non. 2, 3, 4, 5. Mais c'est pas possible que ça soit lui quand même. Non. C'est pas lui. Donc je pense qu'il fallait retourner en haut en fait. On verra bien. Hop. Youhou. On va retourner en haut. Ok. C'est par là. Hop. Ah, maintenant il devrait y avoir un... Voilà, ça doit être spécialité de Snow. Bah comme ça, c'est la fête.
One must always anticipate the needs of your patrons. I am constantly assessing the dining space from the viewpoint of my customers. The comfort, the decor. Our customers want more than just a meal. They come for the memories they can savor for years to come.
Et voilà, donc 6 sur 6, donc on peut parler au mec. Coucou.
I did what you suggested. I visited the top restaurants in the neighborhood.
That is excellent news. So now let me give you the advice I promised. If CD's restaurant wants to turn its business around... wait, let me ask you something first. You've eaten at CD's and at the best establishments in Yusnan. Why don't you tell me what you think is the main difference between the two? I'd be interested to hear your opinion. In your own words, of course.
Why? Is this some kind of test?
Yes, exactly. Now tell me, what did all the successful restaurants have in common that poor old CD's lacks?
Let me see. Everyone I spoke to was helpful. They seemed honest and open. I don't think they were lying to me, but something seemed off.
Oh, would you care to elaborate?
Well, it almost felt like they were hiding something from the customers. But it wasn't as if they were deliberately lying or trying to deceive anyone. In fact, I don't think they realized it themselves. They thought they were telling me everything they knew. Yes, that's it. It was unconscious, like an instinct. They were hiding something, but they weren't doing it deliberately at all. I'd say the very best chefs, restaurant managers, and bartenders all share some kind of secret. It's like a special ingredient that makes their food stand out from the others.
What a wonderful deduction.
Bah dis donc Lightning.
To think you discovered this answer only after visiting a few establishments. It is as you say. The best, most successful restaurants have a certain je ne sais quoi, a secret something that makes their offerings unique. And finding that something, that is what I do best. In other words, if the restaurant does not already have a special something, then I simply cannot help it.
Then what about CD's? Do you think you can help him?
I can tell you this, the chef there already knows his secret. The talent is there to make that restaurant a success. Unfortunately for him, the secret spice that gives his dishes flair is extremely rare. He cannot secure supplies, and that is why he struggles. Let me be specific. Once upon a time, CD's recipes all featured the spice commonly known as civet musk. But then supplies dried up and the restaurant fell into a long decline.
You seem to know a lot about CD's.
Well, a long time ago, let's just say we have a close history and leave it at that.
Ah d'accord.
All I need to know is that if I can find this spice, the restaurant should start bringing in customers.
Yes, exactly. The problem is the spice is not easy to find. In fact, the only way to acquire it would be to defeat certain.
Mais j'en ai trouvé en fait du muscle machin là, de civette sur le champ en pot là. Alors, chassez des tigrifères près de l'avenue centrale pour vous prouver du muscle de civette, l'ingrédient secret du sommeil, puis apportez-le à Gordon. Il en faut combien? Parce que en fait j'en ai déjà en fait. Ouais bon, ça c'est fait. Montrez le monsieur, voilà j'en ai. Ah, je reconnais cette odeur, vous avez trouvé. Ouais donc en fait on est en train de passer tout l'épisode avec lui. Ça va être un épisode cuisine.
Why are you thanking me? If anyone should be grateful, it's me, and the owner of CD's for all of your helpful advice.
Oh, quite so. When you put it that way, of course you're right. I just get caught up in a project and start thinking it's my own restaurant I'm saving. But back to business. Here, I developed this new and original recipe. I want you to take it back to CD's together with the civet musk you acquired. The owner will be waiting anxiously for you.
So, you still don't want to meet him yourself?
I'm afraid that won't happen. Not ever again. However, that doesn't stop me from wishing him and CD's the very best. Please tell him that whatever happens, I'll be praying for his success.
Ok. Bon, allons-y parce que bon là, voilà. Alors hop, je bouge ma souris parce que je ne vois plus mon compteur. Voilà. Bon, je parle pas beaucoup. C'est vrai que niveau commentaire pour ce let's play, c'est quelque chose d'assez particulier, hein, mais bon, c'est pour vraiment vous faire profiter du jeu. Ouh, excusez-moi.
Why, thank you. This is wonderful. How can I ever repay you?
Je sais pas, tu me donnes plein de sous.
I'd never have thought to do half the things in this recipe. The genius of Gordon Gourmet oozes from every word.
Notice anything else?
About the recipe? No, not particularly. It's well organized, written in a clear hand. Wait. This handwriting, it looks strangely familiar. Yes, I've seen it before. These swirls, these bold loops. Could it be?
I think so. It turns out Gordon Gourmet has a secret identity. He's your long-lost son.
Ah d'accord.
It was him who created this wonderful recipe. But more importantly, he's in this town. Is he happy?
You have nothing to worry about. He's doing great. Except, I'm really sorry, but I don't think he wants to see you again. I can't tell you where he is.
But why? Yes, we quarreled when he left, but that was a long time ago. Is he still angry at me?
Do you have a message for him? I can make sure he gets it.
Well,
Bon, ils vont me faire finir leur quête, quoi.
I'm gonna make his dish just like the recipe lays out. Would you be so good as to deliver it to him? At the very least, I want him to try it. Truth be told, what I really want to tell him is to come back to CDs and work with me. Perhaps if he knew that I still haven't lost my touch, would that be enough to entice him back? I don't know.
I don't think words alone will do it, but if he tries your dish and likes it, that might be enough for him.
Allons. Parce que bon, j'aurais bien voulu faire d'autres trucs parce que là, voilà, on est déjà 20 minutes passées et on n'a pas fait grand chose, quoi.
Alright. I'm feeling hungry anyway.
Ok, d'accord, Lightning. Le goût est tellement exquis que vous récupérez toutes vos forces. C'est bon, j'ai déjà fait tout le tour du mage. Bah, donc.
Although all the credit must go to my son, it was his doing. Here, I've made enough for one more. I've asked you for many favors, but would you do this last thing for me?
Sure. I'll take it to Gordon Gourmet.
Steak façon civette. Ok, c'est bon, je peux y aller. Allez. Bon, j'espère que c'est la fin. Hein. Parce que là, il y en a marre. Ok, hop. Allez, on se dépêche. Qu'on puisse faire d'autres trucs quand même, parce que bon... Par contre, il y a beaucoup de murets. Heureusement qu'on peut sauter au-dessus. Hop, alors on va là-haut. T'es au Gordon Craig là. Tiens.
Do I smell what I think I smell? I do, don't I? That must be my recipe.
Yes, the owner at CD's insisted that I bring you a portion so you could taste it for yourself.
I see. Well, then... Oh, yes. A perfect balance of fuzzy mutton and civet musk. The palate sings. It's a microcosm of culinary delight, a theme park of olfactory and gustatory attractions. And if you think that's hyperbole, I've only just begun. This is even better than I imagined. I always knew he was a skilled chef, but this...
So, why don't you go back there and help him out again in the kitchen?
Go back? Well, what do you mean? I've never... Oh, all right.
Genre, on sait, hein, c'est bon.
You've somehow figured it out. What my true identity is. Yes, I admit it. I am indeed the son of the owner of CD's restaurant. It was a long time ago, but one day we quarreled, and I left the shop vowing never to return. We fought over cooking, you see. But even after I left, I vowed that one day I would rebuild the restaurant. That's what started me on my journey to becoming Gordon Gourmet. Since then, I devoted every waking hour to learning about the culinary arts.
Okay.
After many years of study, I finally had an epiphany. I realized what CD's restaurant needed to regain its former glory.
You had a falling out because of the menu? But when your father saw your recipe, he was thrilled. All he could talk about was how he dreamed of you coming back. So the two of you could run the restaurant together, just like old times.
so he recognizes my ability. Oh, but it's too late. I can't go back now. The fact is, I abandoned him in the restaurant when times were tough. I'm ashamed of what I did. I can't face him again.
Donc là, je vais aller devoir aider le père, ou je sais pas à quoi encore. Ah non, il est là.
How did you find me?
My apologies to the young lady, but I wanted to see you. I followed her after she left the shop. What do you say?
Bravo.
Let's start over. You set out on your own, did things your own way, stayed true to yourself, working hard to achieve your dreams. And now look what you can do. The recipe that you created was amazing. I've never seen the likes of it before. What can I say except that I am proud of you?
But Father, I left you.
Not in my wildest dreams could I have conceived of such a dish. Indeed, if you had given it to me back then, I doubt I would have recognized its greatness. But worse, I wouldn't have believed you could be capable of such a thing. I always underestimated you, my son. For that, you have my sincere apologies.
It's all right. And for what it's worth, I'm sorry for abandoning you and the restaurant when you were struggling to keep it going.
Looks like you two have made up.
Yes. Now let's get to it, shall we? Together.
Together.
See a success again.
Ben voilà. Allez, 30 minutes pour une quête. Super, super. Alors, un toc de chef. Oh, tous les PV qu'on a gagnés. Oh, pas fini encore. Ah si. Ok. Une bonne chose de faite, comme tu dis. Oh. Allez, nous, on va par là. Oh là, oh là, oh là. C'était un petit peu haut. Ça c'est fait. Alors. Ah, je crois qu'il y a un coffre. Ouais, là, c'est ça. Parce que j'ai vu ça en fait dans mon épisode quand je l'ai monté, je fais bah tiens j'ai oublié des trucs et tout quoi. Qu'est-ce que c'est? Emblème du loup. Ça augmente l'attaque. L'hôtel. Là y a rien. Et j'en ai vu un autre me semble bien. Attendez, il faut que je me retrouve. Hop, on va d'abord faire un peu de combat, ça faisait longtemps. Ah oui il est là, en haut à gauche. Je l'ai vu. Je l'ai vu. Feu. Alors attendez, attaque légère, je sais pas combien ça fait de dégâts. Pas assez, bon, franchement, c'est pas assez de dégâts, c'est bien dommage. Alors il est là-haut. Alors comment on fait pour monter? Là, là, là. Mais ils sont bien cachés les coffres ici, hein. Allez, vas-y. Secret des flancs vigiles, bah ça c'est bien. Donc on descend, on va au quartier des augures, donc c'est par ici normalement. Attendez que je me trompe pas. Quartier des augures, ouais d'accord, ouais, c'est bien ici. Alors on va descendre comme on avait fait la dernière fois. Cette fois-ci on va aller un peu plus loin. Ok donc par ici. Donc qu'est-ce qu'il y a? Oh t'as peur? Ah non il prend une photo, d'accord. Le guide zélé. Vous allez voir, il va y avoir un truc avec les guides. La fille excitée. Pourquoi t'es excitée? Ok. Ouais, je vais les faire. Trop bien. Non, y a rien. Patronne. C'est beau quand même. Hein. Moi j'aime bien le style de cette ville. Picard. Devin sinistre. Est-ce que je dois lui parler? L'œil a tout vu. Ok. Et toi, tu reviendras, c'est écrit. Ah, c'est bon, je suis là. On vous a volé. Comment ça? Eh?
Come on, you know what I want.
Damn it, here.
If you don't smarten up, next time I'll call the guards.
Next time you won't catch me.
You have to stop this. What would your parents say?
Who cares? Because I don't.
Non mais l'autre quoi, il m'a volé mes guilds quoi. Ah, faut que t'arrêtes un petit con. Non mais... qu'est-ce qu'il y a en dessous? Ah bah je vais prendre le petit chemin parce que ça se trouve il y a un truc caché. Regardez, un petit passage comme ça, moi je dis ça cache forcément quelque chose. Ah bah on était déjà venu en fait. C'est bon je me rappelle. Oui parce que des moments je ne sais plus trop où j'étais. Pourquoi tu cours comme ça toi? Informateur. Oui. Qu'est-ce que tu fais? Acheter, secret. Oh on va les prendre. Hop, de cyclope secret de Zaltis. Ok. Alors. Attendez que je me repère. Oui, donc c'est bien. Hop. Où sommes-nous? Poulou. Non, rien par là. Là, il y a un truc qui brille, je prends. Parce que ça se vend bien cher. Gérant de l'hôtel. Qu'est-ce que c'est que toi? Comment ça, c'est fermé? C'est sérieux? Attendez, là je casse. Hop! Alors, ma tenue bleue, elle est où? Bleue. Non, c'est la jaune qui est passée en... La magie, c'est devenu la jaune. Bon. Ok. Oh bon. Il est mort. Donc j'aime pas du tout, donc on va changer ça. Ignition, on va la mettre en bleu, j'aime mieux. Quête secondaire, cauchemar au comptoir. Ça c'est fini. Ah non, je voulais utiliser une chronostase. Chronostase! Pouvoir, chronostase, oui. Où est-ce qu'on est? Donc ici il n'y a rien, donc on doit monter. C'est quoi ça? Il faut une carte d'accès pour ouvrir le portail. Ok. Quand impossible d'entrer dans le quartier des augures.
You don't have much choice, but the tour guide sneaks groups of tourists in through the back route to see the show in the Augur's Quarter. Trust me, he's not that hard to find. In fact, he's about the easiest person to spot.
Ouais, et toi t'es qui?
Good of you to come and visit our glittering city. This right here is the Augur's Quarter.
The gate to the Augur's Quarter is locked.
Et donc, on est bloqué là? C'est une blague? Vous voulez trouver le guide touristique. Et il est où? Le guide touristique. Ah! C'est pas le mec qui fait plein de la musique là? Je sais pas, ils ont dit quelqu'un qui se fait le plus remarquer, ça va être ça. Alors attendez, je vais passer par du coup la petite ruelle qui est à gauche. Ah bah voilà, regardez, il y en a un là. C'est lui ça, non?
My stylish lady, you're just dying to see this show, aren't you? You can try to hide it, but I know what a woman wants.
Maybe, maybe not. Either way, I don't have an ID to reach the theater.
No worries about that. I can get you a special ticket at a special price.
A ticket, huh?
Oh, you playing innocent? I'm sure you know about the sneaking in special. I help the poor visitors to our fair city, people who don't have the requisite IDs.
Oh, les lunettes, c'est moche. Pièce de notre illustre théâtre, je suis seul. Oh, on va voir un spectacle théâtre, trop bien!
My word is good, but I can't offer any guarantees. I mean, who knows if you'll make it back alive? That depends on Lady Luck. So put your trust in Fortuna and your money in my pocket.
J'espère que c'est pas trop cher.
I knew you were up for it. All right. Let me explain to you the brilliance of my little tour, shall I? It starts next to the monorail track. You know, the one that carries supplies from the industrial area. Up on that track, you'll find some of the best views in the city. If you know where to look, that is. I can take you up on the track from the industrial area and get you set up all nice and comfy. A perch with a view. You'll be able to see the Augur's Quarter and the theater.
Sounds easy enough. So where does Lady Luck come into it?
Well, the tour's not without danger. The chaos infusions have been hitting the industrial area real hard these days. You might have to fight more than just desperate tourists on your way to the best seats. I don't guarantee your safe arrival or return. All I guarantee is I'm the only way in. Not that it looks like you have plans of actually sitting down and watching a thing, my lady.
What are you trying to say?
Nothing. None of my business to say where you might be going or who you might be going after. I'm sure the Savior plays her cards close to her chest.
Gee, was it the posters around town that tipped you off?
I could sell you out to the palace guard, you know, make a pretty profit. I guess you'll also have to depend on your luck to see that I don't just do that.
Ouais, d'accord.
Now, don't you feel like coughing up and buying a ticket to my tour? I'll even give you a special price just for you.
Non mais le game, non mais ok. 2000. Ouais, on va l'acheter. Non mais t'es en plein milieu, monsieur. Tu, oui. Enfin non, non, ça te gêne pas.
Ooh, look out for the big bad savior. A ticket for one. Time's on the ticket. Be in the industrial area by then or you'll miss your chance for the show. One of my helpers will be in front of the gate to the industrial area. Give them that ticket and they'll take real good care of you. You know the area, right? Past Central Avenue and then across the sand in the lower city. We leave on the dot, so don't you dawdle or you'll have to wait for the next tour. Thank you for your business, my good lady.
Il indique rendez-vous à 18 h à l'entrée de la zone industrielle. 18 h? Mais il est que 7 h du matin? Là-haut? Non mais ouais, mais je suis trop en avance en fait. Enfin trop en avance. Bah, ça nous laisse le temps de visiter un petit peu, donc je vais partir par là. Bon. Ça m'a l'air pas très rassurant comme endroit. Oh là là. Je suis dans l'espèce d'égout là. Un coffre. Serment des marchands. Oh, des gremlins. Des gremlins. Ok. Toujours aussi nul, c'est bon, j'ai compris. Attendez que je sorte de cet endroit parce que c'est... Flamme du désert. Du désert. Ah, je peux pas passer. Ah, d'accord. Alors, on va remonter. Ah bah, il m'a eu. Tant pis, de toute façon, il va se faire one shot. Ou pas. Oh, j'ai eu un truc. Tant pis, j'ai pas vu. Alors, on va ressortir de là. Voilà. Hop là. Voilà. Et on va aller par ici. Hein. Je pense que c'est plutôt pas mal. J'ai trop couru. Bon, tant pis. Alors, on va aller se mettre au Pampa là. Quartier des plaisirs. Ok. Et écoutez, je pense qu'on va s'arrêter là pour cet épisode 17. Bon, je suis vraiment désolé que l'épisode n'ait pas été très fourni. On a fait beaucoup de la quête avec de la cuisine. On a fait un peu que ça en fait. Mais bon, c'est pas très grave. On se reprendra, je vous assure. Sur ce, merci à tous d'avoir regardé. Et du coup, bah, portez-vous bien. On se retrouve la prochaine fois pour continuer. Allez, à plus!